I'm Jermaine Jones. Let me take you back to a 24-hour bike ride. Make sure you watch this to the end to find out if I managed to complete this amazing 24-hour ride. So where did it come from? I mean, doing a 24-hour ride in the middle of training to cycle around Australia next year is a little bit stupid, but me and Ben, we like a challenge. I text Ben on the Thursday. It came out of the blue. I mean, it just came into my head to do a 24-hour challenge. I texted him saying, hey, do you want to do a 24-hour bike ride this weekend? He was a little bit slow responding to me, but he said yes. On the Friday night, I went to work, woke up at 4 AM, went to work, finished work, went to dinner that night, and then started a bike ride at 11 PM at night, which probably the wrong time of day to start, but lesson learned. It's the 3rd of December, at 10 PM at night. Just getting ready to attempt to cycle for 24 hours. And this cycle is going to be into the unknown. Never done anything like this before. I'm excited to see how it goes.
So it's about 5 to 11. I'm just about to start my first stint on the bike. I'll be doing around 17 hours, or like something like that. So yeah, I'm gonna break it up into 2-hour bits. 2 hours, 10-minute break, 2 hours, 10-minute break. I'm already absolutely knackered though, so this doesn't bode well. We'll see.
So there I am, 11 PM on a Friday night. Everybody's going to pubs, bars, restaurants are busy, and there I am on a bike in the middle of Centennial Park. Just arrived at the park where basically going to do this 24-hour bike ride. Very, very tired. I'd already been up since 4 AM that day. Straight out into Centennial Park to start my 24-hour challenge of doing laps around the 3.8k loop of Centennial Park. During this time of night, I was hallucinating. I was falling asleep while on the bike. At one point, I found myself pedaling while sleeping and woke myself up. Very slow pace, legs a bit sore. Also so tired. I can feel myself just falling asleep while riding. And I'm starting to hallucinate a little bit. Every time I see an object, I keep thinking it's something else. And drifting off while riding. So I did try to get a little rest earlier on. I jumped in the car. The intention was to have a 10-minute nap. But as soon as I sat in the seat, I was wide awake. And then as soon as I come back out on the bike, I've fallen asleep again. So I'm here. I've sat down again. I'm gonna try and get back on the bike. Potentially do another 2 hours.
Time for another stint. I just watched Jay's post there, and I'm similar. I'm just falling asleep. But we'll keep going.
But I managed to get through to the morning. That night was potentially the hardest ride I have ever been through. One, because of the darkness. Two, because of how tired I was. And leading into that, the hallucinations of seeing things running next to me, looking at signs where the colours were changing. Lots of things were going through my head at the time, but like I said, I managed to make it through to the morning. Managed to make it through the night. The sun's just starting to come up. It's 5:30 in the morning. That was probably the worst ride I've ever done. Cycling at night when you're really tired, even though Centennial Park's a safe area where there's no cars. I was hallucinating. Everything I looked at was starting to change. I was falling asleep, swerving left and right. So I had a little nap, which helped me out, but here we are. Sun's just starting to come up, which is good. So there's more cyclists out now. In the morning, when that sun came up, it was like, it just gave me a new burst of energy. Centennial Park's known for having a lot of cyclists, and as soon as that sunlight come up, the sunrise sort of touched the tarmac, all these cyclists started to come out, which gave me more motivation, more energy. So the worst part of it was over for me. Cycling around, had some great people coming down and jump in and cycle with me for a couple of laps around Centennial Park, which sort of motivates me a little bit more. I am thinking about 5 hours of riding, which isn't the best. I had a lot of breaks. I just couldn't cycle through, I had to have breaks. Still trying to do 24 hours, but I'm gonna just break this up into little chunks. So I'm gonna try and cycle for the next 2 hours, hopefully have some breakfast, and then continue and see where I get. There's a huge amount of doubt going through my mind at many points across this 24-hour challenge. One, because of my legs. Two, because I was very, very bored. I mean, going around in circles at Centennial Park is not the most exciting thing in the world. There's only so many trees that you can count. But I kept on persisting, I kept going, I kept having regular stops at my car to take in food, water, Coca-Cola, which was giving me that sugar, and then getting back onto the bike again to cycle around for another couple of loops. But during the night, taking you back to that, I felt that I was stopping a lot more. There was a couple of times where I felt like I was going to have a little nap. At 8.5 hours now, it's about 10 past 10, which is not good. Last night I was very tired and disoriented. I was a little bit, couldn't really get the speed that I wanted, so a lot of stop starting. I had a little nap as well, so it's kind of time. And now I'm only at 8.5 hours, which is a bit disappointing. I'm trying to get back in and make up some time. Hopefully still on for the 24 hours, but let's see. I did go to the car to try and have a nap. I said to myself, I'll have a 30-minute nap, that will give me more energy, but I was unable to sleep. And then going back to the next day during that daylight, cycling around, the energy is there, but I was getting towards the end of the day and I was realizing to myself I'd have to do another night shift. Being tired, falling asleep on the bike, hallucinating again, that wasn't for me. So I think around 6 p.m, 7 p.m. that night, I decided to call it a day. I was just shy of 15 hours, but I had already been up nearly 48 hours, which is not good. Just hit 204 Ks. Really struggling today. My body is feeling a little bit worn out from all the training. Good thing is it's coming to the end of the year, so after this ride I'll probably wind the training down a little bit, recover, start fresh for the new year, getting ready for this big bike ride around Australia. 14,251 kilometers. So today's ride I'm sitting at 204, which is under what we're going to be cycling each day next year. Averaging, when we go away, it's going to be averaging 285 kilometers per day, which is crazy. For 50 days. Everyone I've told, they can't believe we're doing it, but we are. So, really just trying to keep my legs going. Struggling, they feel so heavy. So many people just whizzing past me as well. But we're getting it done. Just hit the halfway point. 12 hours. I think this might be the longest I've been on a bike to date. I'm up to 264 kilometers. So it looks like I'm probably well over 300 today, which is good. Most I've ever done, I think it's 324 kilometers. So a goal today would definitely be to go past that. Legs are feeling pretty good now. I've got a bit of energy again, but I'm a little bit worried about the night shift. I'm going to get tired again. This is going to be the second night on the bike, so just working out what to do. Last night I was hallucinating a little bit, and tonight will be a second night without any sleep. So 12 hours and counting. After being awake for nearly 3 days, I decided to pull the plug on the 24-hour challenge. So my total will probably be around 15 and a half hours. Gave it a good go. Wasn't meant to be. I should have really started during the day on Friday and finished in the evening on Saturday. But stupidly I started Friday night straight after work, no sleep, which would mean that I'd have to do 2 nights, a Friday and a Saturday night. And after last night, not being able to sleep, falling asleep while on the bike, hallucinating, and just being unaware of really what's going on. I don't want to go into another night of that again, and it's starting to rain as well, so tonight would be a night of no sleep, rain, and probably more hallucinating, so it's not going to happen. I am going to try it again. It's more likely going to be after the cycle around Australia. I definitely want to try this 24-hour challenge. At least now I can write down some little pointers and make some changes and change the time. Nutrition was on point. I didn't bonk. My legs have been sore, but I have been training pretty hard over the last couple of weeks, so something like that I would change. I'd probably do a bit of a deload. The weather has been on my side up until this point, so I wouldn't really change too much. It's just those small things, and obviously I'd sleep before and not go into this straight after work, which was very stupid. Started work at 5 AM on Friday. I worked all day, went for dinner after work, came home, I went straight into attempting a 24-hour bike ride. Pretty stupid, but learn from my mistakes. Till next time.
So unfortunately I had to call this at around 200k. At that point I'd probably been awake for about 31 hours, 32 hours, and I I was falling off the bikes, falling asleep on the bike, which meant I was falling off the bike. So I had to call it. But that is definitely going to be the most difficult 200k that I think I'll ever have to do. That was pretty awful. In terms of the ride itself, the body felt great. The body wasn't a problem at all. It was just I was just so tired from being awake for so long. So I've got to take the positives out of this. As I say, the body felt great, so I'm happy with that. As far as I'm aware, Jay's still going, so it'd be great to get some support for him. So yeah, go and give him a shout.
I learned from it. It was a good experience to cycle at night, even though there was some near misses and near crashes. But it was good to feel what it's like to be on the bike when you're tired. It was good to have to feed myself over a 24-hour, 48-hour period of how to just keep myself going. We achieved a goal. We gave it a go. This whole training to cycle around Australia is just about personal challenges along the way. I have to say the biggest respect to Ben, because I really thrown this on him last minute. He didn't really see this coming, and I was like, let's do it. And he agreed to do it, which was good. Sadly, he didn't last quite as long. He was doing his 24-hour challenge at home, which is a whole different ball game, being at home in one room, sweating on Zwift. But he still managed to achieve, I think, nearly 200, 300 Ks. And mine, I think I finished at around 350 Ks. I'm not sure of the exact figure. But my average speed was down to 21, 22 Ks per hour, which is very, very slow. And yeah, I think it's 14 hours, 14 and a half hours, 15 hours achieved, which is another thing on the list. Today is December 6th, and I guess now it's a case of winding down for Christmas, relaxing a little bit on the training, still training, but just not as much volume. And into the new year, our training is going to change. We're going to start doing more intervals during the week, and on the weekends that will be our longer rides. So our whole dynamic of our training routine is going to change. One, because we feel like we're going to get a lot more out of intervals during the week. Two, because the intervals is going to just give us a lot better time to fit that within our work schedule. And yeah, just being able to get out on the roads on the weekend for the longer rides is going to be... I have no idea why I've decided to do a challenge like this. I heard that cyclists are quite crazy, and now I'm understanding why you always want to push yourself a bit more. So I feel like I'm doing something very stupid right now.